Hey everybody, this is Sopak. Hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk to you about this really fun, affordable, great looking vintage lens. The lens I want to talk to you about in particular is the Helios 58mm f2.0. This lens is infamous in the photography and videography world, mostly because of its really cool swirly bokeh effect that it has. But I want to talk about some other reasons why I really love this lens and why you may be interested in picking one up for yourself. So the things I love about this lens, first of all, the build quality is really, really great. All metal. There's just something mentally, I guess, cool just knowing that you have this lens that literally I ordered from all the way in Europe and ended up at my doorstep. But it's made really well. It's got a nice aperture ring where you have to manually put your aperture. The focus ring is really nice, very smooth. I know sometimes there are some issues with different variations of this lens. If you buy one that's not in really that great of a condition, you know, the focusing wheel may not be super smooth, so you kind of have to take that into effect whenever you find one. But I lucked out on mine and I absolutely love it. The second thing that I really love about it is just how you get these crazy, like holographic, like Pokemon type flares in your images. And I'll show you in a few of the examples here, but you get this really, I don't know, it's just a cool effect that you can't get with a modern lens, unless like you just fake it and add a lens distortions flare like over top of your image and post. But as far as getting it in camera, you can't really do it with a modern lens, I mean, to the same effect. And I think it's because there's these coatings now that they put on modern lenses to try to actually reduce flares and ghosting and different things like that. And so these vintage lenses don't really have any of those coatings, which is both good and bad, just depending on what you're trying to do. I wouldn't say this is an effect that I love all the time, but I do like to do it from time to time. Call me a sucker for lens flares or whatever have you, but I actually really love the effect of it. Another thing I really love about this lens is the f2.0 aperture. Wide open, it's relatively sharp. Of course, with a lot of lenses, pretty much any lens, you stop it down to, you know, f2.8 or f4, it's going to be very, very sharp. But the really cool thing about having a lower aperture lens at a really affordable price is that you can get those low light details and situations depending on where you're shooting. I've shot in low light with this, with my A7 III, and I've had some amazing results with it. So if you're ever looking to start out maybe on prime lenses, looking for a low aperture lens on a budget, and you're willing to do the work of the manual focus, this would be a great option for you to check out. So those are some of the pros of this lens. Now I want to get to a couple of the cons of this lens. Although it's very affordable, I think I got mine for somewhere in the realm of like $40. I think I actually found this one on Amazon. You can find it on eBay. I'll try to find it and leave a link in the description. Very cheap price. It took forever to get to my house. I live in California, and I believe this particular lens shipped from Ukraine, which I get it. You know, it's a vintage European lens. Might take a little while, but I think when they sent me my copy, it got delayed in the mail. So it took 3 months for the lens to get here, or close to 3 months, I should say, which is a very long time. So this is not like you're gonna order this Amazon 2-day prime shipping, even though I did order it from Amazon. It's something that you're probably gonna be patient and have to wait. Honestly, it was a bit of a treat when I did get it because one, it was cheap, but two, I kind of forgot about it. So when I got it in the mail, I was pleasantly surprised. It was like somebody I knew who loves me a lot sent me a free gift, but really I paid for it. So anyway, the shipping is definitely a downside. Hey everybody, this is Future Zach wanting to drop in for a second to mention something very important about this lens. This is an adapted lens. It actually comes in two parts. Magic. it screws in. It doesn't actually just come apart that easily. So this piece right here, this is the real lens itself. So it uses a very small mount. I think it's a PM mount, if I'm not mistaken. So when I bought my lens for like that $40-ish, it actually came with this included adapter. So I'm gonna leave you a link to just the lens with the adapter. It still only costs around 40 bucks, so it's a really good buy, but I just needed to mention that if you're trying to fit this to a modern camera, it probably won't work unless you have an adapter. All right, enjoy the rest of the video. The second thing is just manual focus and manual aperture in general. Now, a lot of people really don't mind shooting manual. I'm learning to not mind it as much, but I come from relying on really great autofocus from Sony cameras and Sony lenses, and so switching, from time to time to doing just manual focusing, first world problems here. Like, it's not a deal breaker necessarily. I'm just not going to use this at like a wedding or anything where I'm afraid I might miss focus and that I won't be able to go back and get the shot later on. So just keep that in mind. So if you're going around shooting with friends, or there's no real need to have it be tack sharp and you're not on like some sort of like a client job where it's absolutely essential, then this would be a good lens for you. One other thing to add about manual focus, if you do have a Sony camera, or if you have any camera that has focus peaking, please use it. It is such a game changer with manual focus. It helps immensely just to make sure that whatever you're trying to get in focus is actually in focus, because I've had experiences with this lens already where I think, oh my gosh, that looks amazing and it's sharp and detailed, and then I get back and I throw it into Lightroom and I wish that I would have just turned the manual focusing ring just a little bit more to get it all in focus. So keep that in mind when you're shooting manual. So now that I've talked to you about the pros and the cons of this lens, I want to show you some sample images that I took with my wife, Rachel, from this past weekend. We went up to Santa Barbara, had a little date day, and had a little bit of fun with this vintage lens. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed those images. As you can see, there's a lot of really cool characteristics with this lens, and it can get really sharp, but also if you miss your focus, you can definitely tell. But you can also get some incredible lens flare. So there's definitely some great things about it. There's some trade-offs, but just as overall, it's like a fun, run out and go shoot lens. I just think that this is a great way to go. Or if you're a hobbyist, if you're wanting to get a manual focusing lens, or if you're just addicted to flares like I am, this would be the one to go with. So check out the links in the description. I'll have some options for you just to check it out for yourself, see if it's something that you're interested in. Please feel free to like this video, give it a thumbs up, helps with the algorithm, to share it, to get it out to more people who might be interested like you. And I hope you have an awesome day. See you in the next one.